All right, welcome back. Today, as you can see by the little jar in front of me, we have a spell jar. And this one is for anti-anxiety. I made one of these for myself a few months ago. I don't even remember when. It was back in the winter though, January, February, and it has worked like a charm. I have a really hard time falling asleep because of anxiety. So I keep this in my drawer at night, just right next to my bed. Sorry, in my bedside table. And it has seriously worked, like, no pun intended, such a charm. It's really helped just ease my mind and let me just fall asleep so much faster than before. Sorry, I actually still have spell remnants on my desk from our last spell that we did together for the road opener. So for today's, you're going to need some, if you're doing a smaller jar like this, you're going to want some chips, some crystal chips, like that. Now, you could also make this into like a little satchel. Actually, I have some crystal confetti over here from Self Spiritual. So you can make one in one of these in like an organza bag or something like that. If you only have bigger crystals. I always say that witchcraft really isn't something that you need to like break the bank for. So use what you have. But for this spell, you're going to need blue lace agate, rose quartz, aquamarine, and then you will need pink sea salt, lavender, violet. We're going to use lily again. I know this is the second spell in a row, but I've used lily. I've been really enjoying working with it. And then finally rose petals, as well as some wax to seal it with. Now I have my own little wax seal, but you can also very easily just drip candle wax onto it as well. Some people like to add a little charm to it. I might do that too. Who knows? Start with the blue lace agate. So I have mine semi-organized. So the blue lace agate is really great for calm and serenity. So honestly, this is just a great stone to have on hand if you are a generally anxious person like I am. Especially when it gets, I'm a music teacher as well, so especially when it gets really close to the musical, I will carry blue lace agate around in my pocket. It's honestly probably one of my favorite stones to work with other than citrine. All right, next step, we have rose quartz. This is for love. This also helps with anti-anxiety as well. Yeah, but we want to add a little self-love in here. Yeah. As much or as little as you want, whatever you feel called to. If you are a regular here on the channel, you know that I don't really measure. I just go with my heart. And last but not least, we have aquamarine for calming. Now, there are a bunch of different places to get chips, crystal chips like this. I will say if you are in the US, a great place to go is Michael's. I have one right down the road from me. It is fantastic. I bring my 2-year-old son. He loves to sit in the cart and he loves to just like play with the strands of crystals. But it's really great. It's a cheap option. They are often running sales on their strings of crystal chips. So just an idea. You can also order them in bulk if you plan on using a lot of them, which I clearly have ordered a lot. All right, next up, we are going to add some Himalayan pink salt. And this is for protection, but also love as well, some self-love in here. And next up we have lavender. Of course, if this is an anti-anxiety spell jar or anything like that, of course we're going to use lavender. Lavender is honestly one of my favorite herbs to use just in general. This is how it's looking so far. Next we have violet leaf. Or you can just use violet as well. I just happen to have violet leaf on hand. And again, this is going to be for some more calming. And then we have 2 more herbs after this. Looks like that. Honestly, I think the combination, there's lots of blues and pinks and purples going on. And I think that plus like the color of the rose petals and the lily, just like, this is one of the prettiest spell jars I have made so far. So, hilly. Sorry, it's the last couple weeks of school here, so my brain is kind of malfunctioning a little. So we're gonna do lily for healing. At this point, it usually gets a little packed in there. I will say dried lily petals do not crumble very well. And if you didn't happen to see my previous video, I find it kind of difficult to just find dried lily to work with. So what I like to do is buy myself a bouquet that has lilies in them, or pick some if I have some growing, and I will go ahead and I will enjoy them in the bouquet in my house, let them dry. Once they like kind of start to look kind of icky, I pick the petals off and just lay them out to dry. And it has worked so well for me. That's honestly a really great option if you are not really comfortable sharing your witchy side with the people that you live with, but is also just a great option, like if you are having trouble finding ingredients as well. All right, and last but not least, we have rose petals, which again, these are ones that I picked off of my own rose bushes. Just gonna try to put as many as I can in there. And these are also for self-love. Because I think we can all use a little bit more of that. All right, at this point, if you would like to add any charms or anything like that, you certainly can. All right. Typically when I make spell jars, I don't say anything too fancy. But as I seal it, we'll say a couple things. So I'm going to heat up my wax. If I learned this the hard way, so hopefully you have more experience with a wax seal than I did when I first used one, or you do your research. You don't want to hold it too close to the flame because it will burn and boil and your wax will look all funky when it dries. As I'm waiting for my wax to heat up, just setting the intentions that I want to set for this. So obviously calm, serenity, anti-anxiety. There's also a lot of self-love intention in here as well. So thinking about how I want to feel once this is all said and done. I'm going to be giving this to someone else since I already have one. So how I would like them to feel. Ease worries, aid in better sleep. And I'm just going to pour my wax. May this help the person that it is intended for. May it ease their worries, their fears, and their anxieties. May it help them sleep. Aid in self-love, as well as mental restoration and rejuvenation. All right, I'm gonna blow my tea light out. I'm not gonna set this down because I don't want to burn anything. There you go. Your spell jar is complete. This is what mine looks like. I think it looks, I feel like the camera and the lighting just like isn't doing it justice. It's just so pretty. But I hope you enjoy making this. I hope that this helps you as much as it has helped me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.